Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
What you got there, Dallas?
This?
Yeah, what's that? What's up with that?
Talai, Keely.
You probably got multiple as well, right? You got one for the Coliseum video. That one gold.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like a typo or if they dipped it differently. Because one of the two that I got, I mean, this one's silver. Whatever, that one's silver, and then this one's gold.
Yeah, that one's gold. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Looks good though.
Yeah, no, it does.
Pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. Baseball is dead.
I was
got
looking
a
at
silver.
this one. Yeah, I was looking at this one. I was like, this is really sweet. Like the shine.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at this one. And I noticed it was different. I mean, I love them the same. I got to be honest. They don't, they're like children. You care about them equally. And you
that can't be
want
true,
them all
by the
to
way.
do well. But yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
congratulations.
if Katie
Congratulations to Mike Eamon on that masterpiece. Like Mikey just he went dummy hard on that, and he made Dallas look good. And if anyone hasn't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel right now. It's great. It's award winning. First place, gold for it.
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
All the congratulations to Mike Eamon.
Yeah. Now are you glad that you did it?
I mean, I didn't need the little gold fella. But yes, I was appreciative. I think the feedback that we both got from the fan base and baseball fans in general was more than enough reason for me to realize that, yeah, that was something I should have done and not been selfish with. So I'm glad you guys convinced me to do it.
Yeah, it is a masterpiece. It's excellent. It'll bring tears to your eyes. Check it out if you haven't already. It's on our YouTube channel. It's documenting Dallas's last day at the Coliseum last season. Jayhay, I need you to walk me through this. So,
yes, sir.
For the home run derby, which is tonight, by the way, how is Underdog running this? We're doing higher lowers on home run totals for rounds. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. That's among.
Okay.
That's among. Yep. So it's just like a typical Underdog promotion or approach to an event where you can, log entries on higher or lower on, let's say James Wood hitting X number of home runs in the first round of the Derby, that sort of stuff. So you can kind of play it. There are a lot of different ways you can play it, and it's fun. And I would obviously recommend that everybody get in on the home run derby via the Underdog app tonight, because I know I will be. And longest distance, like I cited one thing you can go with, but there are multiple other things you can bet on. Longest home run distance. So for Cal Raleigh right now, that's listed at 454 feet. Higher or lower. Round one finishing position. So if you want to take a look, if you're more comfortable, hey, I think this person's going to, finish fourth or whatever, then you can go that way as well. So there's lots of different stuff. For James Wood, they have a max exit velocity listed right now at 115.6. I'm not kidding.
Neil Cruz is 120.6, Dallas.
Well, hey, dude, and so I'm glad to hear. I'm glad you said that, Jay. I don't know if these are available for everybody, but I got extremely lifted last night and found myself. I just wanted to gather the exit velos and average exit velos for all the participants. If that is something we are interested in running through right now, very quickly, I can give us that.
Yes, please.
James Wood, max exit velocity on the season so far, thanks to our dear friends over at StatCast, 117.9. Okay, 117.9. That's his max. Yes. I guess I can try to put them in order, but it's early. So James Wood aside, O'Neal Cruz, 122.9 is the max. 122.9. James Wood.
His higher or lower is 120.6.
Okay, yeah. So do that, Jay. Why don't you give me the higher lower, and then I'll give you the max.
As of right now, at least as I am looking at it, those Wood and Cruz are the only players available for exit velocity higher or lowers.
Okay.
So Now that I'm looking at that, they have every participant listed for round one home runs hit. They have every participant for round one finishing position, and they have every participant for longest home run distance. So, lots to choose from here.
Okay. All right. Well, then I don't know that we need to run down all the exit velocities because they are irrelevant.
What do you think
hit
the
the
higher or
important
lower
ones.
mark is for home run distance for O'Neal Cruz, Dallas?
One.
No. Home run distance.
Home run distance.
I bet you he hits it over 100 something feet.
465.
472.5.
Ooh.
Which is, it's worth
Ooh.
noting, the longest of any participant listed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because everybody in their mind that has come up with these numbers has just closed their eyes and thought about O'Neal Cruz hitting a ball 123 miles an hour and just how fucking insane that's going to look.
Yeah.
And it's like, buddy, it's 470 to start with. And they're like, no, you should probably bump that up a little.
Now that like the nerds are aware, and even like the non-nerd baseball fans are aware of the nerdy side of baseball. So that's taken over the home run derby, because I remember in 2017 that was the Miami home run derby, looking at like exit velocity numbers. Like, so I lived with a bunch of my friends at the time and remember just like looking at the exit velocity numbers to make picks for the derby, and they were like, how'd you know all this stuff? And it's just like, man, like just because a guy has 30 home runs doesn't mean he's going to be the most efficient home run hitter in a home run derby. You gotta look under the hood here. But now the exit velocity stuff is more commonplace and people understand it more and they're able to utilize it more, especially with their pick'ems on the Underdog fantasy app. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. We're going to get into our picks. We can break down the bracket a little bit. But while we're in the process of doing that, you guys should probably take out your phones and download the Underdog Fantasy app, because it's the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Jared. I mean, is anyone not taking O'Neal Cruz?
I mean, it's
Jayhay.
really tough for.
Yeah, I'm not taking O'Neal Cruz. Are you guys kidding me? Come on. We got brand
You are
stuff.
taking. I mean, Dallas has like a couple of his boys in here. Like,
I know, and that's why that's why I'm like, man, really? Come on. Like
I told Rooker in here.
I told
Brent
Rooker to his
Rooker's
face
in here.
yesterday. I said, I am like everything you do in the second half. Everything you do in the second half is completely based upon how well you perform in the home run derby. I said, if you fucking lose this thing, Rook, so I'm going to crush you. I'm going to bash you. Everything you do in the second half for our team is going to go overlooked. I'm going to pump up Stewie, the bat boy, more than I do you after you blast fucking 20 in the second half. And he's like, I feel like that's a little unfair. And I said, well, you know what, buddy? You got the fucking brand riding with you. So make a move.
Life's not fair.
Make a move.
Also, we were talking about how, you look at exit velocity numbers for the home run derby. I feel like you kind of only look at exit velocity for the first round. Like, then it becomes a judgment of endurance and stamina.
Right. Well, so that's where you go from, like, that's where average exit velocity comes into play. That's where average exit velocity would come into play, because now you're thinking about a guy just on average how hard you hit the ball. So
I
when
need
we start
everyone
to get
to
into
submit
those,
their Fitbit data to me before I can accurately make a pick for this home run derby.
But this is where, and you guys know that I've been a fucking nerd for the bat tracking data. The minute it came out, right? Swing speed, swing length, squared up rates, blast rates, things like that. And that's where I started to dive into, was like blast rates. And can you guys just take a guess at who the number one, who out of the field of the home run derby participants, who was number one when it comes to the number of blasts hit?
Hmm.
Jared, you want to go first?
Wait, say that again.
Out of the field, out of the participants in the home run derby field,
Yep.
do you want to take a guess at who has the most competitive blast swings in this field?
I mean, it can't be the obvious, right? Like, it can't be Cal Raleigh.
It ain't Cal.
Is it James Wood?
It's James Wood
Oh, okay.
with 107.
Okay.
With 107. Number 2 on that list, Matt Olson. Number 3 on that list, Junior Caminero.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cal Raleigh would be 3rd on that list, or 4th on that list, excuse me. And he, believe it or not, Jared, is ahead of one O'Neal Cruz.
Mm.
So
Okay. So how has that influenced your pick? Because I believe you're still going O'Neal Cruz, no?
well, and this is where it gets a little interesting, because now you start to think about, all right, average exit velocity. Do you want to take a guess at who's on the top of that list in terms of our field when it comes to average exit velocity?
O'Neal Cruz makes the most sense, but I'm going to throw out a sleeper pick here and maybe say Byron Buxton.
Follow your heart, you fucking idiot. Of course it's O'Neal Cruz.
Oh, okay.
96.4. Sorry, you didn't deserve that.
Yeah, I don't deserve that at all.
But James Wood, as well as Matt Olson, right behind him, Ole at 93.7, James Wood at 93.6. So then what does that tell you? That tells you that maybe James Wood could very well be the candidate that you lean on here, because in terms of max exit velocity, well, he's 2nd in this field. And in terms of overall average exit velocity, well, he sits at 3rd in this field. So as far as the height on that list outside of O'Neal Cruz, James Wood very well could be your candidate. Because he's also the number 1 guy in the clubhouse when it comes to those blast rated swings.
Okay. Jayhay, are you ready to officially announce your pick?
Sure.
Is it James Wood?
Hold on before.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
How do we make this a jersey bet?
Oh,
sure.
well, I think we probably
Dallas
start
looking to
with
dig out of a hole here, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think we start with maybe paying up on the jersey bets that are owed.
I trust.
And then go from there.
trust. I'll log another jersey bet. I know I'm getting that Juan Soto at the end of the year. It's fine.
Oh, buddy, that ain't polar bears mounting a comeback. Is Jared frozen?
Does seem that way.
Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah, we got to figure out how to make this a jersey bet.
I mean, the most straightforward way I would think is either
last man standing wins.
Yeah, whoever's man is last standing, or it's last man standing with the caveat that person has to win the event. And if nobody wins the event, then nobody wins the jersey.
I feel like we need a winner. It's not enough to just win
like
in the group.
Like have the better score in the second round.
Yeah, like that's JV. We can't.
That's fine. I like that caveat. Or like if you're the last man standing, you get some sort of smaller, acknowledgement within the 3 of us. But in order to get the jersey, you need to actually win the thing.
Yes, the jersey is the crown. The jersey is our belt, our derby belt.
I like that.
Okay,
I like that. That
I mean, wouldn't you agree that in order to participate in a new jersey bet that you should pay up on the jersey bets that you've already lost?
Why are you so caught up in like when
idea.
you get it? You know what I mean? Like I'm still waiting for you and I to play our first MLB The Show 2012 game against each other, Jared. With the PlayStation I fucking sent you 3 decades ago. They've invented a new video
Dallas
game
is still
platform
in the league
since then.
Who was on the cover? Who do you think was on? I mean, Dallas, if you know, don't answer.
On 12?
Who was on the cover
man.
of MLB The Show 2012? I'm gonna say.
I think I do know.
2012.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say
Was Matt Kemp still good? No.
I'm gonna say I'm saying Poppy. I'm saying it was Poppy.
Poppy? I don't think it was Poppy. I remember Pedroia was on the cover in 2009, so that would be too soon to put another Red Sox guy on there. MLB The Show 2012, the cover. Oh, was it King Felix? No.
Mm-mm. I believe this was a year they had multi. Or was that Madden?
Oh,
when they started doing like split covers, Jared.
There are two.
One of these dudes.
Best I can tell, there are
Adrian
two
Gonzalez.
Yes, and fucking was it not fucking
Batista?
Yes, I was going to say Encarnacion. Yeah, it's Joey Bats.
What the hell?
You could have given me 100 guesses, and I'm not sure I ever would have figured out that they put Adrian Gonzalez on a video game cover.
I was going to guess Adrian Gonzalez because I know he had a big year in 11, but I was like, that's a homer pick. You think more broadly. Like, he wasn't like the superstar of the era. But also, like they had Pedroia on the cover in 2009. Like, that's a little soon for a Red Sox turnaround.
Double dipping. Is
there a cleaner way to put into perspective baseball's marketing conundrum 12, 15 years ago than Adrian Gonzalez was the video game cover boy? We're in a much better spot now. No offense to AG and those incredible
the likelihood
seasons.
You can think about it this way, Jayhay. The likelihood of the individual being on the cover today and also streaming that same video game on their platform
is a lot higher. Yeah,
is a lot higher.
It was 0%. Yeah.
Who's on the cover this year?
I mean, you can fuck around and catch Pete Crow Armstrong on the cover next year, and he very well may be playing that game.
MLB The Show 2025 looks like Skeens, Gunner, and Ellie, a triple combo.
Yeah,
I think
see, that feels like a waste, right?
Well, no, to Jared, but think about this. To Jayhay's point right now, instead of just giving us one individual on the cover, here's three that we can pedestalize.
I don't like that because one of my favorite, so obviously I don't play video games now. I would like to get back into it, but I don't have a console to play on. But I did play video games for a long time in my childhood days. And it's like when me and my friends talk about baseball video games, we're always like, oh yeah, the one with Frank Thomas on the cover. Oh yeah, the one with Manny on the cover. The one with Giambi on the cover. Like, that's how we would remember like the years in the games. But it's like now these kids are going to grow like, oh, the one with Skeens on the cover? No, I think it was the one with Ellie on the cover. Then they're going to get into a fight over it. And it's like, actually, we're talking about the same game.
I think that's true from a nostalgia standpoint. And I think if you hit it big, it's right from a marketing standpoint in the present. But I wonder if they've looked at some of the years where they've selected single individuals and just wondered, are we putting too much on the appeal of one guy, or are we risking too much on that player not delivering in that season in the way that would align with, like, because I mean, I'm just going off the top, so I'm sorry if I don't have this right, but like Jazz Chisholm was a cover person, and I think did close to nothing in that season, certainly on the level of being a cover person. I want to say, what was the timing of Tatis's cover and his suspension? I don't think those coincided in a way that was beautiful for probably associating yourself with him at the time. I could probably pull other ones where the timing didn't work perfectly. And I don't know the answer. I'm just speculating that maybe they're feeling like, let's just appeal to, like, there are lots of great young players. People talk about how this is the best time for young baseball players in generations. Let's leverage that by saying, hey, you like Gunner, you like Ellie, you like Skeens, you like one of them, come by the game.
Yeah. Well, it's a way for baseball to insulate themselves as well. Like, if you find out that fucking Paul Skeens is just like smuggling shark fin soup or something, and you're like, you know what? I love the guy, but I got to be out on him. He's, especially during Shark Week, to find out that Paul Skeens is smuggling shark fin soup. I can't ride with him any longer. So it's Ellie for me. Like that's.
I'm extremely sympathetic to Jared's point though, because like I remember the MVP video games. Obviously, I remember them because I played a mind-numbing amount of time playing them. But I remember who was on those covers. Like I remember who was on the covers of 04, 05, like the iconic MVP video games, and you don't have that, to Jared's point, which is something.
You know what's crazy is like they're starting to bring back backyard baseball because it's nostalgia and everyone loves it. But I feel like we all still talk about MVP baseball as being the best baseball game of all time. And there's just no talk about, because it's like, all right, well, we have the show. And now people have careers off of MLB The Show. Like imagine like if 15-year-old Jared was able to play MVP baseball for a living, like I would be the guy. I would be the MVP baseball guy. We used to sit in my buddy's basement and do like the franchise mode and play for 40 years. Like we played to a point where there were no players left in the league that were actual
all
players.
Generated rosters. Yes.
Yeah.
No, trust me, dude. We did the same. I did this. It's kind of cool because I actually we just got the notification for baseball alumni weekend at Texas Tech, and a bunch of my old teammates, hit me up. We're all talking. And that was something that we started to talk about, is because we had Madden seasons rolling, and we had MVP seasons rolling, and that's just what you did. It's just what you did, and you would play, like you said, for fucking ever. And I mean, BP groups at the field are getting decided by like rankings and where you're finishing in the season and shit. Like, yeah, it's hardcore. I loved every minute of it.
Who was your team? Were you the A's?
No. We did just like the random select, of teams for unique color purposes. Because I always wanted a team, like I always wanted the fucking Cardinals or like the Royals, just because of the fucking powder blues. Because you got to change, you can alternate the uniforms. So I always wanted a team that had powder blue unis because I just fucking love them.
Yeah.
I think there's something to it being nostalgia for our general era of people, but I also think there's an objective reality to the fact that it was a huge advancement in baseball video games at the time, and that no one followed it up with anything close for a prolonged period of time. Obviously, kind of like calcified the legend of the MVP franchise. Like I'm not saying that if it would have continued to today, it wouldn't have run into some of the problems that people cite with the show and the online play and all that. Maybe it would have. I don't care. I honestly don't care. What I care about is that when I was in college, 4 of us would play a franchise together, like you guys are talking about, and we would divide up the innings. And if somebody blew too many 9th innings in a row, they would be removed from the opportunity of pitching as the closer. And in fact, one time we had to take out my buddy Doug, who was, we'll call him the least mentally strong from a baseball video game standpoint. We had to remove him from the 9th inning duties. And at one point we did that after a blown one, and he just stormed off to his room, and the rest of us were able to finish the game. But there was punitive stuff going on, and it was legitimately, some of the coolest memories that I have of that era. So
Jayhay, dude, I don't want to tell the story because I don't want to be like Tommy Topper here, but we had the same shit going on. I ended up, I gave up a homer with Cliff Lee to Vlad Cakes, and it was on a fucking cutter up and in, like at his fucking face, and Vlad still hit it out. And I'm sitting in front of our TV, in front of my TV, and it's in this little fucking entertainment center, right? It's like a fucking 32-inch TV, whatever the fuck. And I'm sitting in our fucking these two chairs, and I kicked the fucking TV, right? I'm just sitting there, and I kicked the TV. Boom! The fucking TV, the TV bounced off the back of the wall, came back, hit me, knocked me out of the fucking chair. No, and all of my teammates.
This was the precursor to the cup incident.
Oh my God, dude. All of my my teammates are sitting there looking at me. The fucking TV's on me. I am flat backed on my fucking apartment floor. And they're like, you fucking asshole. Like you have just, so I had to, they made me, I'd take my fucking scholarship check and go buy a new TV so we could finish our fucking season.
As you should.
Yeah. And I had no problem doing it. It was just, I mean, I could tell another side story about how difficult it was to get there. That's a whole nother day. But yeah, it was, it was quite a show. Quite a show. We take it seriously.
Those were the days, just sitting in the basement. Like we would make up like character flaws for our players. Just like we had a guy on our team, Domingo Acosta, and he was a piece of shit, but he was so good that we had to put up with his behavior off the field.
You can overlook a lot of things because Diego.
Yeah, we had to look past a lot of things for Domingo. It was Domingo being Domingo. There's nothing we could do about it. And then we had our big bopper. His name was Jack Ruby, and he was chasing the home run record every single year, but you know, something off the field would happen and he would never quite get to 60, never mind 70. So, you know, we had a very flawed team, very talented team, but a lot of character flaws on our team.
It happens.
Sorry, this is too good. I can't. This is probably the weirdest thing that's been said, but we're in a comfort zone here, right? We're talking MVP, and we did a franchise once, and this guy named Francisco Grosecki, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not even sure he ever made the major leagues, but he was a prospect in one of the systems, I think the Dodgers that we were playing with at the time, fucking around. And at some point, a generated player came into the game that was also named Grosecki. And so we had two Groseskis on the same team. And later that year, me and a buddy had shirts made and went as the Grosecki brothers for Halloween.
That is fucking fantastic.
The most Jayhay thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I mean, to make a t-shirt because of your fucking video game roster.
It was like a fake jersey. It said like Grosecki Dodgers. Like, it was
see,
that's a lot of reactions, but we liked it.
Padres Acosta jersey would go crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what you should get. You should get a custom Acosta for your wall.
You know what? Hey, you never said, well, I guess we did say which jersey for the jersey bet, but you know, keep your eyes peeled for that Acosta jersey.
I mean, I would be pumped if I had a Padres Acosta jersey.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
was nasty.
That'd be so much
He was
more
basically
meaningful
like
than just
Robinson
picking a player.
Cano. He was Robinson Cano's with like Manny's off the field issues. Yeah,
sounds like
not that Cano was like some beacon of great behavior, but
yeah. Made a bad
Those
decision
were
or
the days.
two a few times.
Those are the days. I wanted to hit on. Well, did we all get our home run derby picks in?
No, and we also didn't.
I don't think any of us. I'm
No.
O'Neal Cruz. I'm sticking with O'Neal Cruz.
Are we doing the jersey bet? If one of our picks is the winner,
here's
the winner of the event?
Were you there, Jared? Did you understand how that works?
No, I cut out.
So your derby selection, O'Neal Cruz, for you to win a jersey, O'Neal Cruz has to win the derby. He can't just finish better than our selections.
Okay.
We'll figure out an award for or a reward for that winner. But
Last man.
So this
standing.
is like the winner gets 2 jerseys out of this?
No.
Oh.
last man standing. So if O'Neal Cruz Jr. is the last man standing out of our selections, but
I don't
does
know
not
that he's a junior, but
does not win the derby. Did I say junior? Does not win the derby. I think that's the second time
That's
I've done
Jose
that too.
Cruz Jr.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Yeah, former baseball
Yeah.
tonight great. Yeah.
yeah. And that doesn't get rewarded. So he has to win the derby. That's the only way you get a jersey is your selection wins the actual home run derby.
Are you down?
okay. So then, where are the jerseys coming from? The person who finishes
The other
farthest
two
away?
people. No, the other two people.
Oh, so that's what I said. I was like, so the winner gets 2 jerseys.
No. The other two people will combine to pay for the jersey for the other person. Yeah. So if you're selecting O'Neal Cruz and he wins the whole thing, you win an O'Neal Cruz jersey. I mean, I'm assuming that's how this is going to work. You're not going to pick some random other person to get the jersey, right?
I mean,
just an O'Neal Cruz. I think it should be the winner of the Derby. It should be your pick, whose jersey you get.
Yeah,
but I don't know that I want. Like,
then
I already
pick
have
someone else.
But I want to win a jersey. Why should I? Why should you get to tell me what jersey I win?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't do that.
What do you mean? It should commemorate. It should commemorate the event that we're betting on.
Yes.
So
that's not the true spirit of a jersey bet.
Oh, that's a sweet Acosta Padre jersey. Where'd you get that? Oh, O'Neal Cruz won the fucking Derby, so that's what asshole. Come on.
No.
By the way, Acosta jersey.
I want but Dallas already owes me a jersey, so that Acosta jersey's coming fucking on Friday. That's already pulling up to the crib, and then it's about what jersey I want after that.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
baby.
You think
my jersey. I want a Brent Rooker jersey. I could just fucking ask them for one and get it for free, but I'm going to make my friends pay for it.
Well, you know how much cooler it feels when you guys pay for it? It's like when someone else makes the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It just tastes better.
I mean, like, I guess. Also, what if I wanted to change my pick based on these rules?
Then that's fine.
Now, who are we deciding who gets what? Like, what if we both pick the same guy?
Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you walk us through the rules? Why don't we explain very quickly how this Derby is going to go? Because this is a Derby that had the rules changed, had the format changed here recently. So do you want to take the time to walk us through that, just so folks have an understanding of how this is going?
The actual home run derby rules?
Yeah, the format.
Okay. Let's see.
Because there might be folks that are listening that don't understand the format or just need a freshening up.
Okay. So it's 3 rounds, and there's 8 participants who compete against each other, followed by the semifinals and the final round. Each participant gets a set amount of time, 3 minutes in the first 2 rounds, 2 minutes in the final, or a set number of pitches, 40 in the first 2 rounds, 27 in the final round, to hit as many home runs as possible within those restrictions. Bonus time is also given out after the main period, where batters get 3 outs or 4 if they hit a 425 plus foot home run. The top 4 from the first round advance to the semifinals, with the final 2 competing in the championship round. Ties in the semifinals and final rounds are broken by 60-second swing-offs. There you go.
I like it. So, I mean, so this is where, being able to hit the ball extremely far only pays off so much. Helps, but it only pays off so much.
Yeah, you want more home runs. You don't want the long home runs. It's kind of like whack, whack, whack. This is a battle of endurance. You want an athlete up there, You
want somebody that can spin to win right now. That's got to be the mentality. Spin on it quickly, get yourself another one. Spin on it quickly, get yourself another one.
I'm sticking with O'Neal Cruz. So
I like that they've gone from kind of like a highest total first round, and then it moves to head in the semifinals. I think that's smart and good. So you're sticking with O'Neal Cruz?
Yeah, I think that's the best way. That's the only way that I'm ever going to get a fucking Dontrelle Willis jersey is I'm going to have to win 2 jersey bets to receive 1, I think.
You've already got Dontrelle on the way.
No, I don't. I won that bet in like fucking April. It's almost Christmas.
It's Christmas in July.
We are closer to Christmas. Actually, that bet was from last year, right? It was last year, Jayhay?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Christmas has already gone by. We're closer to the second Christmas since I won that fucking bet than when I made the bet. The second Christmas.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
Does Dontrelle know about this? Do you think he would ever speak to you again if he knew that you were withholding the jersey that I won and I requested a Dontrelle Willis jersey, do you think he would ever be your friend again?
Could probably
You guys
get
are
one for
next
free
to,
from
by the way,
Dontrelle.
Dallas, on the wall of fame in my media room, you're next to Dontrelle.
Well,
like I have like a lefty section, and I'm gonna fucking move you. I'm gonna put you in the bathroom. I am.
I'm starting to think that D-Train might have a little something to do with why this jersey's not in your hands right now. I don't want to blame it on him.
So you didn't want to pay for one. You texted Dontrelle and asked for a freebie, and because he didn't send you a free one, I'm not receiving my jersey. That's what's happening?
No, it's almost like Dontrelle. I'm just saying he knows that I'm waiting on it, and he's like, maybe he'll get around to it type deal. Maybe he's back burnered.
So exactly
it,
what I said.
So I mean, you can be mad at me.
So
if
Dallas,
you want.
Dallas
I'll
is
absorb that.
like up. Dallas has more jerseys that he didn't even win than I have jerseys that I've won.
That's not fair. I think the math is wrong on
That's
that.
fair. No, it's not, no, it's correct. It's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
I apologize for trying to dictate terms on whose jersey you had to get if you win. I didn't realize there was quite this much pent up kind of
See what
jersey
you did,
bet.
Jay?
Well, because think about it this way, Jayhay.
That was going on.
Didn't I win a jersey bet, and out of the kindness of my heart, I passed it to you?
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah.
That's my Harold Baines jersey that sits right behind me as we record every time.
Who did I beat for that, Joe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right here. Yes, Joe.
So I've won
This
2
is, in fact,
jerseys. I have
autographed,
0. I've won 2. I own 0. So I want this one.
Autographed with Hall of Fame 2019 on it, right there on the letters, or on the number rather. Yep.
There you go.
Pretty cool. One of my prized
Man.
possessions, obviously.
I'm glad you like it, because I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh, is that my Dontrelle jersey? No. No, it's not. Nope, not coming. Apparently not. Crazy.
Well, look,
Yeah.
the supply chain's been affected too. That's something you got with the tariffs and everything. There's a lot.
I'm gonna call him
there's some
myself and be like, "Hey, you
there's
know
some
that? I bet you Dallas probably said, "Hey, D-Train, what's up, brother? I need a jersey for my little nephew. I'm gonna be a good uncle and just give him a little Dontrelle." He's like, imagine if Dallas was like, "Hey, brother, so I lost a bet and I need a free jersey. I'm a millionaire and I don't want to pay for it. So can you give me one for free?" It hits a little bit different when you have a fake nephew. You don't even have a nephew, I don't think.
I've got multiple nephews. I've got 3 nephews.
Okay. You ever got him a jersey?
We've never seen him one time on this podcast.
No, never heard of. What's their name? No idea.
I'm not going to say their names.
Exactly, because you don't even know it. You don't even know your nephew's
the piece of paper with their names written down is in the other room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, can you two get the fuck off of me right now?
I mean, if I don't pressure you to give me this jersey, it's never coming. It's never coming. Ever.
You're getting the fucking jersey. Jesus.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because now I need Dontrelle Willis to comply.
Well, see, and look, and maybe that's an indictment on your relationship with D-Train. And I can't.
Well, that's because he doesn't know it's for me. If he knew it was for me, he would have sent it to me directly by now. I don't need your name on the return label. Just have him send it directly to me.
See, now you want me just playing the middleman here.
Yeah.
You're trying to be the middleman.
It's for Jared Carabas, not little Stewie Braden,
Yeah. Yeah. Tell Stewie to beat it. He doesn't even know who D-Train is. Never saw him pitch an inning in his life.
Man. Well, I'm glad you're over this. It's nice to see that you've been able to move on, compartmentalize this.
Yeah. No, every day I wake up, I'm like, oh, there's a package. Is it my D-Train jersey? Nope. More Metamucil.
It's more poo train.
Yes, it's perfect poop. It's more perfect poop. I don't need this shit. Oh man. Well,
What a letdown.
Well,
So
I know.
let's try this again. Home run derby picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, who you got?
from a jersey bet going on 2 years to Metamucil
Yeah.
is quite the fall. Yeah.
Yeah. That's life in your mid-30s, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel
Well,
you.
all right.
I remember them.
since it's got to be a participant now. I mean, fuck, what jersey? Yeah, because see, I can't go. I mean, I can get an Ole jersey. I can get the fucking.
I think that's a terrible rule.
It doesn't
Truly.
have to be the rule. I already rescinded the attempt.
Yeah, he
Oh,
already
okay,
took it
yeah,
back.
Dallas is just dumb.
Yeah.
You already took it back because you got all butthurt about it. Fucking wounded. Okay, Jesus, slam another fucking.
If you
tall
win
glass
this, you
of
should request a
Metamucil.
home and road Dontrell.
Shut up. Yeah. He's all. Well, he's already. I want the fucking pennies. I want the teal pennies. I want the. Calm down.
Calm down,
Jay,
Dontrell Willis's house doesn't have that inventory right now.
Yeah. Fuck. Want this guy dipping into the 97 alternates. Chill out. What a Jay, have you made your pick?
I have not. I'm ready to though.
Please.
I've had
please
plenty
do.
of prep time here. I'm taking Cal Raleigh.
Wow.
If and when he wins, I'm going to be selecting. I'm on record as selecting a Cal Raleigh jersey. Because I am going to commemorate this historical season, and I think it's going to include a home run derby victory. I think he has, to the extent this matters or anything, I think he has more or less perfected hitting home runs in his opportunities, and he's the guy I have most confidence in. I think he's the betting favorite, so I'm not going out on a limb here, but I'm going Cal Raleigh.
See, that seems like the perfect non-Jayhay pick. Like it's like, oh,
Right,
he's
not too
just
crafty. Yeah.
Well, no, just like he's leading the MLB in home runs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Take
pick
him.
the home run leader versus like, oh, here's the reason for these nerdy reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a super compelling field. I will say that. I think you can look at all of these guys and get interested in pretty much everybody. I mean, Jazz has been. I think Jazz is has the lowest odds / the lowest home run total, but you've seen what he's done over the last couple of weeks and the runs that he can get on from a homer perspective. So as the 8th most likely guy in an 8-field candidacy, like I feel like that's pretty compelling. But Cal Raleigh, his this is the last I'll stay on it, I guess, because it's really all speculative anyway. His natural approach to hitting the baseball in season is to pull and to elevate, right? He has one of the and Dallas. I know Dallas is a big pulled air rate guy. He's got I haven't checked it this morning, but he's at or near the top of that list for the whole season. Yeah, wire to wire. So the way you hit home runs, and often the way you hit home runs in a derby, seems to me to be the way that Cal Raleigh approaches hitting baseballs every day of his life. So, and that has translated to 38 home runs during the regular season. So, yeah, it's obvious, but I'm also kind of interested to see how well it translates tonight.
And that makes my pick that much easier to explain because he is on record as saying this. And I think everybody knows my heartfelt pick, the one that I would typically go with here in this situation, would be O'Neal Cruz. If Brent Rooker was not in this motherfucker. So I am absolutely rolling with the cook, Brent Rooker. I am absolutely rolling with Brent Rooker because when asked if his approach was going to change, if he needed to do anything differently, Brent Rooker looked every member of the media in the eye and he said, I have been trying to hit a home run since the first time I swung a bat when I was 4 years old. I don't try to do anything other than hit homers. That's what I am paid to do. That's what I do. I hit fucking homers. And so that gave me all the confidence I ever needed, if I needed any more, in Brent Rooker and what he would be trying to do in the home run derby. So yeah, I'm here to watch Rook cook. Book it. Brent Rooker is my selection. Because
damn,
is it inside information? Maybe. Am I aware of how his practice rounds went? Yes. Did I like what I saw? I did. So, I mean, that's just where I'm coming from. You know, did I get to watch these other 7 guys practice? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. No, I didn't get to see it. But I did have retinas on Rooker. And that's where I'm coming from.
Interesting. Well, I guess it's no longer inside information since you shared it with the class. Needless to say, that does not deter me from my O'Neal Cruz Jr. pick. Very excited to be supporting OCJ in
Second generation ball player. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A little OCJ action tonight in the home run derby. All right. The picks are in. Underdog Fantasy is the place to get in on the action. And I think it's really cool how they're doing it on the dog. I think it's cool that they've incorporated exit velo and home run distance and all that stuff. I mean,
I love that.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, this is what baseball fans, if you're having a home run derby party tonight and you're having your baseball buddies over, this is the shit that you're talking about. You're like,
yes,
how hard did he hit it? How far did he hit it? It's, of course, like the baseline is how many did he hit and who won? Yes. But they put the exit velo up on the screen for a reason. People like that shit.
And this is where, like, I don't want to go down this road too far, but when we start talking about the evolution of the game and how the game is broadcast, how the game is analyzed, and how the game, you know, in return is consumed, these are those little things. And on this stage where you can introduce, reintroduce, and have a longer sit down with some of these metrics. If you're a fan, if you're a layman fan who's over the years kind of felt like you've been getting beat over the head with all this data and maybe you don't like it a ton when you're watching the ball game, but here's something different. It's not a baseball game where you're just kind of concerned with outs and you know, maybe strategy, but now you get to see and apply some of the statistics and some of the metrics in real time. And maybe that can get you a little more excited or a little more comfortable with how these metrics fit in to how your favorite players are assessed and how they're analyzed. So when we start talking about, you know, like I was going to ask, who do we think is going to hit the farthest home run out of our 3 selections in Cal Raleigh, O'Neal Cruz, and Brent Rooker? You know, they're going to have that. You'll be able to see who hit the farthest homer. You'll be able to see whose shot was the hottest coming off the bat. And those are all questions that in the past you would ask, or you would be curious about, or you would be able to have those water cooler banters with. What do you got?
I got an idea. For this jersey bet.
I'm fucking in.
No, not a secondary.
Why add on to it? Make it a fucking another one.
Well, it's part of the jersey bet.
Okay.
So, how we've set it up, whoever, if someone wins the derby out of our picks, it's like, all right, that person receives a jersey. The other 2 on the podcast have to pay for it. But whoever hits the longest home run out of the 2 guys that have to pay for the jersey, it's a 60-40. It's a 60-40 split. If you hit the longer home run, you're only on the hook for 40%. The other guy's on the hook for 60%.
But again, that's only if the guy wins. So that means that one of us has to win the home run derby out.
Correct.
Yeah.
When I win, you guys buy me a jersey, a Domingo Acosta jersey.
Because Brent Rooker will hit one farther than Cal Raleigh, that means Jayhay has to pay 60%.
Has to pay 60%. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. You okay with that, Jayhay?
Yeah.
You fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because you're probably going to have to pay 60% while Jared pays 40% for my Brent Rooker jersey.
Why would I have to do that?
Well, because O'Neal Cruz is probably going to hit a ball farther than Cal Raleigh.
No.
Yeah.
I selected Cal Raleigh.
I'm pretty protected.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you think for 1 minute we didn't see you trying to Fortnite yourself into a nice little fucking safe space there, Jared. Yeah, I saw it coming. Well, let's go the far. I got an idea. The farthest home run, and here's how we can throw it into the fucking bet. Dick.
How about if you have the longest and you also have the hardest hit? Then you're.
I mean, we could stop that
free.
And
Yeah.
Well, then actually, I think the math says you should get a third
Yeah.
jersey.
Then you don't have to pay for a jersey at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm out
I
on
think
that
we've
one.
settled on it. Yeah. Jared, Jay, tell him we're
You guys are scared?
pump
scared?
the brakes. Pump the brakes.
I'm excited for tonight. Home Run Derby is going to be great. I actually got to get out of here, but before I leave, I did want to hit on this story because as I was telling the fellas before we came on the air, it felt like I was the only person that had this opinion, even though I know I'm right. And there was like 200 responses and it seemed like no one agreed with me. It's because they're Yankee fans. It's not because I'm wrong. It's because a congregation of dumb people showed up at my door. It has nothing to do with the volume of people disagreeing with me. This story, this is from Evan Woodbury. This was a tweet yesterday as I was on my flight to Atlanta. Tarek Skubal said he recently got a call from Yankee starter Max Fried. Quote, he asked me if I wanted to start the All-Star game. Skubal deferred to Fried, especially since Fried had pitched for 8 seasons in Atlanta, but Fried was insistent. I think you deserve it. I was just wondering if you wanted to start it. Skubal acknowledged that he did. A day later, he got a call from Aaron Boone. Quote, it was actually a really cool conversation with Fried. It's a very professional thing to do, and I've got a ton of respect for guys that do stuff like that. Am I fucking crazy? Or why? Like Max Fried, we like Max Fried a lot. I like him as a guy. He's having a great season. But on what planet is he calling Skubal to be like, hey, do you want to start the All-Star game? Like, no shit, I'm starting the All-Star game. Like, I'm Tarek Skubal. I'm the reigning Cy Young Award winner. I'm comfortably having a better season than you. Why are you asking me if I want to? Because your manager was in the World Series last year? You weren't. You weren't there. Like, it just seems very odd to me. Like, why would this even be a conversation? It should just be Boone calling Skubal, being like, you know the deal. Yep. All right. See ya. Like, why would it have to be like, you know what, dude? You can have it. What do you mean? Like, in no way, shape, and the idea that Braves fans would want to see Max Fried start the All-Star game because he was a great Brave. Cool, he's a Yankee now. Why the fuck would Braves fans be like, woo, there's Max Fried, there's our guy pitching for the Yankees. They don't like Braves fans don't like the Yankees. They don't give a fuck. Like, you left, that's fine. Like, you know, they made an offer that the Braves weren't even in the sweepstakes to re-sign Max Fried. But that whole conversation blew my mind. And it felt like everyone was like, what is he complaining about? Like, why? So also to add to this, I grew up in Boston, as everyone knows, and people are like, well, what's the big deal? It's an exhibition game. To this day, people still talk about Pedro's start in 1999, which was before, this means something. Before it was like to determine home field advantage in the World Series. That was also an exhibition game, and people still talk about it to this day. He started, he dominated, and it's the stuff of legends. Like Pedro, obviously he pitched in playoff games and he won Cy Young Awards, multiple. But when people talk Pedro, it's 99 All-Star game. Like, that's one of the first places that you go. So yeah, like, I would say the game means nothing. And if you hit a home run, whatever, like, it doesn't always mean, like, people don't remember that shit. But starting the All-Star game as a pitcher, that's probably one of the last things that does mean something as it pertains to the All-Star game.
What I think you're blowing past and haven't even acknowledged the potential of, which for me, I don't know that potential is the right word, because it feels like the only way that conversation between Max Fried and Tarek Skubal happens is if there's already been a conversation had between Aaron Boone and Max Fried, right?
Like, hey, I'm gonna start you,
Max,
and Fried being like, I don't know, I don't know if that's the right call.
Max, this is Booney, and you're my guy, and I would love for you to be able to go back to a place that you have done work in, won a championship in, and ingratiated yourself in, and be able to enjoy that, because there's no doubt that you have friends and family, from that area that are going to be there. And so my gut feeling is to have you start this game. You've had a hell of a first half. this is how I feel about it. If you feel differently about it, I want to give you the opportunity to either accept the nod or make a decision on your own. And maybe it was hey, Max, you're going to be starting. And Max was like, hey, you know what, Booney? Man, I really do appreciate that. And you're right. It would be cool back in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't know if I truly deserve that. So let me make a phone call and I'll get back to you. And so now Max calls Tarek and he's like, hey, dude, it's essentially kind of been given to me. Like I know that I could start this game if I want, but because I understand how much this does mean to us, I don't know that I could wake up tomorrow feeling good about starting this game, knowing that your performance has probably earned you the right to start this game. And if the pageantry of me being in Atlanta is going to be something that sways this decision, well, between you and I, just two competitors here, I don't know that is enough to tip the scale and give myself the start. And so I want to give you the opportunity to tell me whether or not you would like to start this game. And Skubal, and I'm so glad he said yes, because I know this dude and he's the type of dude to just be like, hey man, like you deserve it too. You just, but it does mean something. And so I'm glad that Skubal spoke up for himself and said, yes, I would like to start the game. So I think in a conversation,
he didn't get to
where
do it
people
last year, right?
What's that?
He did not get to do it last year.
No,
Burns.
Yeah,
I think it would have been different. I think it would have been different if he was like, I got to do it. I want you to get to experience that too. But it's like, I was robbed of that last year and now I want to be able to do it.
And it's not about, and again, and that's where, I don't want to use the word robbed of it. I don't, because I know that there are, just like we're talking about right now, there are some other things that just go into that decision. And so how I view this is how I just laid it out. Aaron Boone told Max Fried that he was probably going to get the nod to start. Max Fried thought about that for a little bit and said, let me make a phone call, made that phone call, had a great conversation with Tarek Skubal. And if we're going to talk about the romance in baseball and the romance in the decision-making here and factoring in the time in Atlanta into this decision and that being a real variable, I hope people can take what they're hearing about this story and put this somewhere in their cabinet of heartfelt moments in baseball. And I know it might sound cheesy right now to think about it, but dude, you've got two Cy Young contenders who, outside of a coin flip, both deserve to be able to start the game. One probably clearly, and instead of there being some big hoopla, it's these two dudes hashing it out together. And it's them talking about it together. And one of them being Max Fried, who probably had the start in his hand, said, you know what? It's just not mine. This is yours. And you don't even ask that question. You don't even have that conversation if you already in your heart of hearts don't believe that this probably belongs to somebody else. So I want to take this time right now to tip my cap to Max Fried, because could you believe in the moment what it must take to be able to dial up the phone of the guy who is outpacing you for the most prestigious award in your sport at your position, and to acknowledge that you might not be the guy who deserves this hallowed acknowledgement? Buddy, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of integrity, And the word professionalism has been thrown about, but I think integrity is the take home word here. Because you would love to have people like that in your clubhouse. You would love to have people like that pulling on the same end of the rope for you. And the fact that Max Fried has shown to be that type of individual, I would like to believe, and I hope that Max Fried has earned fans for life based on this interaction here.
I mean,
I have a lot of respect for that.
Max Fried's a good dude. But I think if I were to put myself in his shoes, I think I would have probably acted similarly and not expected much praise for the act. I would have been like, yeah, dude, like you're Tarek Skubal. Like I understand, like I'm having a really good year. And I think that's where fans that were disagreeing with me were like, well, Max Fried's having an awesome year. I'm like, I didn't say he's a bum. I didn't say he's not having a good year. He's having a great year even. But Skubal is having a better year. Like
I mean, we
it's
can
not
have this kind of
marginal
conversation.
either. It's not like if you were to have a conversation right now, today at the break, who's having a better year, Fried or Skubal? We're not talking about a coin flip. Like, take whichever one you want, and you're still gonna turn out pretty good. It's like, sure, but it's Skubal. Like, he's in a different class, and I had people disagreeing with me, being like, look at their win and loss record. Like, it's 2025. We're not doing wins and losses for pitcher evaluation anymore. Maybe Jayhay, I don't know that you have like the head-to-head data to be able to show these people that there is a gap. Like, I understand like Fried's having a good year, a really good year, but there is a gap between Skubal and Fried, and a failure to recognize that, I think, is a failure to understand how baseball statistics work.
Well, I mean, I can't believe you just said this right now. I mean, the kid's got 25 2/3 innings under his belt, and you've already called him a selfish prick of a player. And Jacob Mizorowski, I can't believe you said that, because he didn't give his spot to Christopher Sanchez. You said it, not me. So there's two personality comparisons
Trey
right
Turner
there.
said it, actually.
You think,
I think Trey Turner actually said that.
But would you have Mizorowski give up his nod to Christopher Sanchez right now? Because
about two
technically,
different things.
I mean, honestly, it's just
like Max Fried is still going to make the team. Max Fried is still going to make the team.
Sure.
The honor of starting is different. Like, the honor of starting the game is different than making the team. And like, yeah,
I'm just moving the goalposts is all.
I agree. I like, maybe not to the extent of being angry about it, but like, I agree with the sentiment that there are guys who deserve to be on the All-Star team over Mizorowski. But I also look at it from a Rob Manfred standpoint. It's like, well, who's going to move the needle? Like, this guy's an attraction now. Everyone's talking about him. They're looking at social media numbers. They're seeing that all you have to do is type out the guy's name, and it's a license to print thousands of likes and retweets. So I think they're probably looking at it that way, which, again, you can agree or disagree with the logic behind it, but their logic is backed up. Like, we want eyeballs, we want entertainment. It is an exhibition, but at the end of the day, the All-Star nod means money for guys.
So you're a fucking sellout now, because to accept the logic,
I'm not getting paid.
To accept the logic is to accept the overlooking of people who have earned it, who statistically have earned it.
I'm not doing that.
That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I'm laying out. No. I'm laying out the logic behind the decisions. Like, I don't agree with it. I'm more on Trey Turner's side. Like, Nick Castellanos being like the All-Star game's turning into the Savannah Bananas. It's like, well, it's not turning into the Savannah Bananas in the idea that it's like not real baseball, but it's turning into the bananas in the fact that like this is just for entertainment. Like, we're going to put the most entertaining guys in the game versus maybe the best players who deserve to be all-stars.
And that's and to his point, the All-Star game has long supposed to have been a display of talent, and unfortunately, it's over the first half of who have been the best performers in the game. And that is just simply
Mizorowski by any definition, though. That's what bothers me about that. Like,
what's that?
Like,
well, right. And that's all part of the hang with them. Like, buddy, you weren't here on time. I can't do anything about that. You've been outstanding since you've been here. Fantastic. But this all goes back to, did you earn the spot out of camp? No. Okay. So you know what that inherently means right away? You didn't earn the opportunity to start your all-star campaign when everybody else did. So you showed up a little late and you've been great, but has it been what the other bodies of work have been? No. Are you being punished for that, Mizorowski? No, you're not being punished for that. This is just the lot in life at this point in time. Is there somebody else? There's a few other guys who have readily and handily outperformed you because they've not only outperformed you, but have been here longer and have been outperforming you longer. So they deserve the acknowledgement. It's not a knock on anybody's talent. It's not telling anybody that they're not as good or that they'll never be able to get to this point. It's simply how things go. That's why hang with them means what it means. We all understand it. Hang with them, dude. We'll see you next year. And to have it expedited in this fashion at the expense of other players who have deserved the acknowledgement to the point where their own franchise is now paying for their bonuses, even though they haven't been awarded the fucking spot. Like that's what's happening. And that's a hand up, like, buddy, we know you're getting fucked here. So here's how we're going to try to do our best to acknowledge it. And the Phillies are paying Christopher Sanchez his $50,000 all-star bonus, even though he won't be there. Like when that's happening, I don't think you can just ignore like that situation. You gotta appreciate it for what it is. Mizrowski has been an incredible starburst for the sport. Phenomenal. Has it earned the right to go to the Midsummer Classic? No. But if you want to apply the logic that the league is applying to grow the sport and reasons why the shiny things have to be put front and center, well, then you're ignorant to ignore that aspect of it, but you're also ignorant to overlook the fact that that is taking away from players who have earned what this acknowledgement is supposed to be about, which is performing. That's what this is supposed to be about.
Jared, do you still have to go?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't want to
I'm
cut you
gonna
off
go-
if you had to.
Yeah, I got to go to media day. All right, looking forward to my jersey. You guys, you
me
guys have
too.
a great rest of the pod. I believe in you guys. You guys
All right,
got
good
this.
luck
All right.
tonight. Good luck.
All right, I'll see you guys. Okay, bye.
The Freed thing, like I'm kind of whatever on the Mizrowski thing. Like I'm not mad at him. I just
No,
think that,
God, no.
and obviously I intellectually understand like the calculus that Major League Baseball is making. I just believe that like Major League Baseball continuously makes like childlike decisions in the sense that, you know, if you offer a child, you know, the opportunity to have a treat now or to save it for maybe what's objectively a better time for them and maybe you, they're going to take the treat now almost every time. And I just feel like Major League Baseball makes that decision. And in a lot of those decisions, the byproduct is a cheapening of something. And in this case, I think, yes, Jacob Mizrowski being in the All-Star game will bring X number of additional eyeballs to the event. It will probably not really that many in terms of eyeballs. It'll bring social media numbers to the event. They'll be able to point to nice things like that. He's very exciting. But to me, there is a cheapening of what the All-Star game is at some point when this is the
No
path
doubt.
that we head down. And I don't want to hear Skeens' name. Skeens had double the innings pitched. He had a 1.90 ERA through 66 and a third innings at the time of his through the first half of last season. That is both double the quantity and better quality by magnitudes than what Mizrowski has done. And listen, man, I'm at the forefront of being guilty of being like, this guy starts our appointment television. We've talked about them recently on the pod. I have tuned in for them. He's on my fantasy team. Like I'm not, this isn't a hater take. I just think that like we're either going to acknowledge that the All-Star game means something and should be tied to contract incentives so that teams aren't left with the way the Phillies are by MLB deciding kind of on the fly that, hey, the All-Star game is just kind of something different now. And all of these, kind of fuck your contract stipulations and clauses that have been added and good luck figuring all that out or whatever. Maybe Major League Baseball is paying the Phillies. I don't really care. The point is that it became a controversy and the Phillies were obviously genuinely, and I'm sure the Phillies weren't the only people that were mad about it. But they were genuinely mad to get enough people on record, basically calling this a clown show, bullshit, all that sort of stuff. And if I'm those players, whether it's Sanchez, Suarez specifically, or the position players that stuck up for them, I would do exactly the same thing and feel exactly the same way. And it's really only Major League Baseball that can create in an effort to create
To grow the
kind of positive growth marketing to spin it into something that's now like a negative controversy. And again, I know like, oh, all publicity is good publicity. And okay, maybe that's true. Maybe that's not here. I don't know. But to me, there's going to be a trickle down effect if we're making these sorts of concessions for the All-Star game every season, it's going to make me less interested to turn into the event. And I know I'm 40 years old. I'm not who they're necessarily targeting, but I think long-term it's more of a mistake than not to be putting guys with 25, 30 innings in the All-Star game.
What it starts to give you the feel of is how easily this stuff is manipulated, regardless of fan involvement, regardless of fan input. And you might say, well, isn't fan input what's driving this decision, Dallas? And yeah, to an extent. But now I think about the fact that the Rookie of the Year award has organizational compensation tied to it, right? And if that's something that can be manipulated, then what are we really starting to talk about? Now we're really starting to talk about maybe performances overall don't quite matter. And if there's a team who needs a little boost via a draft pick, well, and they have a rookie, and you see what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
Like now the league is starting to really meddle in how things come about, as opposed to allowing these processes to organically play out. And when you start to give the vibe that there's a script of sorts to this thing, now you're really going to start to open up cans of worms that I don't know you want to.
I also think like one of the counters or whatever was, oh, if he was on the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox or whatever, then no one would say anything. And in fact,
false.
I think it's the exact opposite case where I think the tenor of the conversation would be even louder and more aggressive. Oh, you're going to put this Dodger on. He's had 25 innings just because he's a Dodger and a big market. You want the LA eyeballs, all that sort of stuff. Like I think that he pitches for the Brewers actually tones down the conversation significantly. And
my what I've been saying, Jay, and I said this on TV, unapologetically, and I've said it the last fucking 3 days, is where the fuck is Nick Kurtz's invite to the home run derby? Nick Kurtz has as many home runs as Cal Raleigh since the middle of June.
Yep.
He's a rookie. He's a fucking rookie. Rookie who was not here for the first month and a half of the season, missed another fucking 3 weeks because of injury, and he still got more homers than any other rookie in baseball and has hit as many as the home run leader since the middle of June. And Nick Kurtz, that needle isn't enough to move? That he's not? Why not?
Well, and I think you know this intellectually, and maybe are just asking a question so that I provide the answer. But I think we know what the environment is in Major League Baseball as it relates to pitching prospects and people who throw 100 plus miles an hour. And I think the league knows that there may not be another opportunity to capture the Jacob Misiorowski magic in an all-star game again. And I'm not wishing ill upon the guy. Obviously, I want to see him succeed for as long as he possibly can. But I think in the case of a Nick Kurtz, they're probably looking at him to the extent that he's being considered at all on this conversation, being like, oh, we'll get to Nick Kurtz next year. Like, what a great young first baseman, probably going to have lots of chances at the All-Star game, but a guy who throws 103, like a guy who in a one-inning event can come in and give us headliner stuff that can be like, among the things that happened in this game, Jacob Misiorowski threw a pitch 103 miles an hour or whatever. And we don't know how long that's going to be a thing. And certainly we don't know how long the national attention is going to care about that sort of thing. I think is a huge part of this.
And now I don't know if you even understand what you just said. To really zoom out, that right there, why do you think we have the problem we have in youth sports?
Oh, 100%.
In amateur sports.
Yes.
And in professional baseball with the arm injuries that we do because of what you just said right now. Because kids that are 14, 15 years old, Jayhay, that are going to be watching the All-Star game, it is fair for them to look at what they're about to watch and say to themselves, I am 3 years and 5 miles an hour away from getting into the All-Star game. If I can start touching a hundo and punching tickets, I'm that close. It's right there. It's right there. What's my pathway to the All-Star game? It's not Christopher Sanchez dealing and taking care of yourself. It's not that. It's blow 103, open eyes, get the clicks, get to the big leagues, get to the All-Star game. And we wonder why 14 and 15-year-olds are looking at their pitching coaches, telling them to kiss their ass. They are going to be throwing 100 miles an hour. You wonder why. You wonder why. I don't wonder why. I haven't wondered why in 15 years.
Nope. And, that's not against Jacob Mizorowski. It's not a plot against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Not at all.
It's not a vendetta against small market teams. And again, as I said, I think it's the opposite of that. I just think it's, last thing I'll say on this is that I just feel like it's a hard world to live in, and they will continue to try to have their cake and eat it too. I don't see this changing, but this idea that every team needs to be represented, and also all of the most exciting stories and flash bulbs and flashes in the pan, not saying he specifically is one, also need to be accommodated in the All-Star game. So we're accommodating all of the teams, which bring in X number of players per year that don't objectively deserve to be participating in the All-Star game. And also we need to throw out any semblance of sample size being consideration, because we also need to consider who's generating the most social media attention in the moments leading up to the All-Star game. So yeah, it sounds old man yelling curmudgeonly to say, oh, what does the All-Star game even mean anymore? I can't do Jared's voice, but and yeah, the All-Star game is an exhibition, but ask the NBA how treating your All-Star weekend as 100% exhibition time does for attention to it and interest in the event. And it's negative, by the way. That's the trend on that. The
NBA would be better served to not have an All-Star weekend.
Well, and that's what's happened with the NFL, buddy, because that's how they treated the Pro Bowl. And now they do like the skills event challenge, which my wife loves, by the way, but not exactly an all-star gala weekend extravaganza that Major League Baseball, to their credit, has created and held on to for a very long time. And I know the All-Star game is the secondary event in that weekend for, I think, the vast majority of people at this point. But I just think that you're creating a difficult situation to navigate in terms of roster building and attention spans when you're trying to appease all of these different masters, so to speak. And I don't think it's going to do good things for the All-Star game moving forward. That's all I have to say about that.
No, I'm in agreement with you. Speaking of roster building, Jayhay.
Yeah, I had no idea I was going to come in this hot on the draft, but let's do it because I got something to say.
You do. You apparently do have something to say. Are there any surprises? Were there any surprises for you early on? Not to say that you have been hunkered down on the draft over the last 6 months and anticipating what the first 15 rounds were going to look like. But I think there were some fun selections. Number one being Ethan Holiday, selected by the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, 4th overall. Obviously, from a brand name standpoint, the headliner for sure. And for college baseball fans, Cade Anderson should obviously be mentioned as well. I know you know who that is, but kind of this year's frontline college pitcher again for the champions. But to me, and I'm glad you prefaced it because I need to hammer that home. I don't have opinions on any of these players, really. I have surface level impressions. I am going to dig in on all of them now that they are part of farm systems. I definitely pay attention to minor league systems. I don't pay really any attention to college baseball. I pay less attention to high school baseball. But what struck me last night as a casual observer of the Major League Baseball draft last night is that I don't think we can, this push to make the MLB draft part of the national consciousness and to not approach the NFL or NBA draft because we're just never going to get there. I just think that's setting yourself up for disappointment, thinking that's the bar. But to get more relevant, right? I think that's a tough situation to navigate when you have teams making decisions at the top of the draft that are not selecting either. It doesn't have to be the highest profile, but I think the best players. lots of people have nice things to say about Ethan Willits. And I know he's a second, he's a generational ball player. It's Reggie Willits's kid or whatever. So it's not just Ethan Holiday that's a part of that sort of thing. But the headline that I saw on the Willits selection was that he could develop into an Anthony Volpe type. And you can't have a guy being selected number 1 overall in your draft who could develop into an Anthony Volpe and expect people to care about that event on a national level. Hardcore people will always care. I also understand as a hardcore baseball person what value Anthony Volpe brings to a baseball team. I don't think he's a shitty player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's a really hard thing to market for an event you want to take the next level. And if Ethan Holiday is objectively the top talent in the class and he's not going one, and I don't know that that's the case, or if Cade Anderson as the top fireballing lefty college pitcher who just won a championship is the top talent and he's not going number 1, again, I don't know that that's the case. And the Nationals are taking a future Anthony Volpe, or the Angels are taking a guy who I believe was taken second and was ranked more in the teens, I want to say, by most publications. That, to me, I'm not criticizing the decisions those teams are making necessarily, because I understand there's a gamesmanship to the Major League Baseball draft and allotting money here, spending money later. I get it. It's not good from a marketing perspective, and it's not good from a we're growing the events perspective. And that's really my only take on last night's draft. And I understand there are people listening to this, maybe the fans of the Nats and Angels, who say, we don't give a fuck about the Major League Baseball draft as a marketing event. We care whether our teams made the correct decisions. Respect. I that's what I would care about too. That's what I cared about with the Guardians when they selected Bazana last year. Whether that's the right choice looks a lot dicier right now than it did at the time. Separate topic. But if teams are going to go for affordability or cutting deals with the 9th best player or the 11th best player in a draft who is still very talented, that to me is just, it's a tough thing to have both of those things at the same time, if that's how the draft's going to operate.
Well, and
that was
something
a lot.
else.
That was a lot.
No, but something else to remember too is like take a guy like Nick Kurtz, for instance, who this time last year was just drafted. Do I expect Detroit Tigers fans to give a shit about Nick Kurtz and the potential impact he could have on the Athletics franchise in the next year or two? No. Right? But if you're watching college basketball, if you're watching college football, you are very aware of the impact that these first round picks could potentially have, not only for your team, should you land them, but for your competition as well, because these are instant impact type of players for the most part. That just does not happen in baseball. However, a player like Nick Kurtz can be drafted just a year ago and can be the league leader amongst rookies in home runs. He has more home runs than any rookie in baseball. And that too can happen. But the idea that you're going to have a national level of consciousness regarding high school first baseman or collegiate first baseman or shortstop, like that's just not reality. It is simply not attainable. I don't care how many hours we put the draft on television. I don't care how many weeks leading up to this day that we pump the tires on it. You're just not going to get people in Arkansas to give a shit about the top 10 shortstops coming out of California. They just don't care.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I'm not even sure. I don't think either of us, we're not mad. I'm not mad or even really criticizing any individual person or entity. I just think there has obviously been a push. I used to work in the league. Like there is a push to make the draft matter, right? And everybody who follows the sport knows that that's been something that they've tried to make a thing for the last 10 years, 15 years, 5 years. There's been different pushes, but like to make it relevant. And if you've simultaneously set up a collective bargaining system or an agreement with the draft where it is advantageous for teams to perhaps not
try
the lottery system supposedly addresses that, right? The worst team doesn't always get the best draft pick now. So whether you like that or not, I don't really know if I do. Guardians pick aside, like I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it. But the idea that with the finances that you are incentivized sometimes, if you evaluate accordingly, to not necessarily take the best player in the draft, where no other sport is really set up that way. You can draft by need sometimes in other sports, but like generally speaking, the quarterback, if he's the best, is always going to go number one. And generally speaking, they're probably going to go 2, 3, and 4 as well in a lot of drafts. And that's great for the NFL from a marketing standpoint. And the best players are almost always just going 1 in the NBA draft. Like very, very, very few people are drafting for need at the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, unless it's like a very tough to distinguish draft. I guess the Ricochet draft would maybe qualify, depending on, now we're doing NBA stuff. But anyway, it's just a tough thing to have both of. And I hope for the Nats and Angels fans that their allotment of money works out, and that skimping on the first overall pick to save money down the line is the wise play from an organization building standpoint. I do think it's a little bit of a bummer when you find out you have the number 1 or number 2 pick, and your team ends up drafting the 17th best player in the draft. And but then 2 or 3 years down the line, you might be saying, well, thank God I didn't know shit, because we also got the with the 40th pick in that draft, we also got what ended up being our second best prospect, and our 72nd pick that we saved money on is now the 30th best prospect in all of baseball. So like, I get that we don't really know a lot of these things, but from a marketing standpoint and what the league seems to want the draft to be, just can't really simultaneously exist, I don't think.
Yeah.
And also for the reasons that you said.
I do got to, because the draft is always a crapshoot. I think we got to pay some respect to a high school out here in my neck of the woods right now. Corona High School, Southern California, Riverside County, set the bar, Jayhay. Made history. When you think about the kind of talent that is out in our world right now, you have 3 players from the fucking same high school picked in the top 50 of the same draft. 3 dudes, 1 high school, same team, out of Riverside, California. Just incredible. Seth Hernandez, 6th overall by the Pirates. Billy Carlson, 10th overall by the White Sox. And those 2 became the first pair of high school teammates to be selected top 10 in the draft. Before them, only 13 groups of teammates from the collegiate ranks had been selected in the top 10. And then with the 32nd pick in the draft, the Brewers take the shortstop from Corona, Brady Ebel, who, for those who hear that name, Ebel, that name sounds familiar, especially in Southern California. Well, that's because the longtime Anaheim Angel third base coach and current Dodger third base coach by the name of Dino Ebel, that is the son. Brady Ebel is the son of Dino Ebel. So pedigree through the fucking roof with that kid. So shout out Corona High School, who my former teammate, Derek Barton, and another young stud when he was drafted, Justin Sellers, I believe, out of Corona High School. So Corona has always been popping the top on talent for sure. And they continue the trend this year. So a tip of the cap to Corona High School for just logging fucking talent. 3 first-round pick, or 3 players picked in the top 50 of the same draft. Yeah, that's doing work.
And Dino Ebel, speak no evil.
That's it.
I can hear you. I always like to say, yeah.
I can hear it on the tip of your tongue. I could hear it.
I was just waiting for you to shut up so I could get that out. Yeah, Derek Barton. I remember him. That was that was prime me reading Baseball America prospect books. I remember Derek Barton well.
You knew what was on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess what they had hoped was on the way.
There. Just stop. Just stop there. just stop there.
Great guy.
Stop it.
Yep. Nope. All good.
All right. Before we get out of here, Jay, I know you got some nugs. We do have, and we will be having. What do you got?
No, I know at the time that most of these guys are being drafted, my hair was down to the middle of my back. I think that yours was a little bit more robust as well. And with baseball season in full swing, I need some of us to be honest. Are you wearing a hat to support your favorite team? Or are you doing it to hide your thinning hair? Sometimes I wonder whether I'm wearing one on the podcast. I'm not today. I think the hair looks pretty decent today, but maybe people can let me know whether Hims is. Yeah. Hims offers access to a range of prescription treatments that are a home run for hair regrowth. So you can see big league results by the time your team is in the playoffs. That is not going to apply to you, I don't think, DB. So I think maybe we'll pick a different portion of the ad read next time, so it maybe makes you feel more at home. But it could apply to all those Red Sox fans out there. Boy, is that team hot, 10 straight. Woo! Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Get started from the comfort of your home. Fill out an intake form, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. The process is 100% online, which means getting started has never been more convenient. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Plus, treatment options start at just $35 a month. Hims has helped hundreds of thousands of men get their confidence back. That's how many thousands Christopher Sanchez was set to lose, I believe, due to Jacob Mizorowski's selfishness. With visibly thicker and fuller hair, start your free online visit today at hims.com/BID. That's HIMS.com/BID for personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/BID. The 100% online thing is intriguing to me because since the last time we podcast, we went and got my children passports. Oh, we're not leaving the country, people, don't worry.
Okay.
But for future travel potential, and just to do it. We had to go into that post office 3 different times during the course of 4 hours to finalize that execution. At one point, we dropped off the photos and gave it to the one person at the post office who told us we were fine. And then the person who was processing it called us up and said, "How do I know which photo is which?" And because I was 5 minutes away, I just came back and I could have said, "I don't know, man, which is the 1-year-old boy and which is the 3-year-old girl. I don't know." Like we can take leaps of faith here. But nevertheless, 100% online for Hims. I do have nugs. Thank you for asking. Do you have anything else before I get to those?
I just wanted to highlight a left-hander.
Please.
That's all. Sean Manaea.
Yes.
Sean Manaea. Season debut off the injured list. Good to see the left-hander back. I think 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it was. It's that he's back.
Yeah, 3 1/3 innings. Came in relief. 1 run. 5 hits, whatever. Yeah, he's back. He's back. Yep. He's healthy.
Yep.
That can only be good news for the Mets. And with that, you can probably anticipate in the coming week or 2 or so, Slab Lab with Sean Manaea.
One of the things I had to ask you about, actually. Glad you brought it up. That's
Jayhay, the Nuggs, exciting. Please. All-Star break Nuggs.
Yes, absolutely. I've got a sack full here. I'll run through them as quickly as possible. I'll save the first half Nuggs for the end. I do want to pay off. I was doing some player hating last week, so to not mention Kyle Stowers' 3-homer game last night would seem a little egregious. Fourth player in Marlins franchise history to have a 3-homer game, joining Brian. It's an illustrious list. Brian Anderson in 2020, Cody Ross in 2006, and Mike Lowell in 2004. Framber Valdez is the second pitcher in Astros franchise history. This is over the weekend to have a start featuring 0 runs, 0 walks, and 10 or more strikeouts against the Rangers, joining Dallas Keuchel on July 19th, 2015. Matthew Boyd, boy, would he look good in a Guardians uniform right now, is the first left-handed pitcher with a start of 8 scoreless against the Yankees since David Price on July 16th, 2017. I frankly couldn't believe it had been that long. 8 scoreless, like no other parameters. He's the first to do so at Yankee Stadium since Derek Holland on June 27th, 2013. And he's the first Cubs left-handed pitcher to do so in franchise history. Derek Holland got a reaction from you. You have something to say there?
No.
Just, yeah, crazy name, right?
Yeah.
Derek Holland for a moment. Jackson Merrill, at 22 years old and 84 days, became the youngest player in Padres franchise history with a multi-homer game against the Phillies. The previous youngest was Benito Santiago, 22 years and 162 days, on August 18th, 1987. Garrett Crochet shoved over the weekend. He is the 7th left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball history with 160 or more strikeouts and no more than 100 hits allowed through his first 20 starts of the season. That entire list is Sam McDowell in 68, Vida Blue in 71, Randy Johnson in 97, Kershaw in 16, Chris Sale every season from 17 to 19, Carlos Rodon in 21, and obviously Crochet this season. Crochet is also, as I said, it was a dominant performance. He had a shutout with 0 walks, and it was a 1-0 win for the Red Sox. Shutouts with 0 walks in a 1-0 win for the Red Sox since 1990. It's all of the pitchers you would hope for. Garrett Crochet today, over the weekend, Curt Schilling in 07, Pedro in 2000, and Roger Clemens in 1992. Now, for the first half superlatives, 2025 is the first time since 2003 that we've had 6 players have 77, arbitrary for sure, 77 or more RBI by the All-Star break. This year, Alonso, Riley Green, Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh, Eugenio Suarez, and Seiya Suzuki all have 77 or more RBI. 2003, that list was Garrett Anderson, Carlos Delgado, Todd Helton, Albert Pujols, Vernon Wells, and Preston Wilson. So love those old lists. Paul Skeens was announced as we talked about the Skubal side of the All-Star game thing. Skeens was announced as the All-Star game starter for the NL. This will be consecutive seasons that he's now started the NL for the NL. He joins Max Scherzer, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, and Tom Glavine as the only NL pitchers to start the All-Star game in consecutive seasons since 1960. Exclusive list, obviously, there. 3 Hall of Famers, 1 soon-to-be Hall of Famer when he hangs it up. And then the superlatives. Junior Caminero is the 5th player in Major League Baseball history, age 21 or younger, with 23 or more homers in the first half of a season, and the first to do so since Cody Bellinger in 2017. Jose Ramirez, shout out the heart and soul and sometimes the only good player of the Guardians. Jose Ramirez is the first infielder to have at least 18 homers and 29 stolen bases in the first half of a season at the All-Star break in MLB history.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe he's the 3rd player overall, 3rd or 4th player overall, and all the previous instances were outfielders. So it's not even a long list if you were to include outfielders. Acuna, Cesar Cedeno, I believe are the other players there. P. Crow Armstrong, very, comfortably got to 25 or more homers and 25 or more stolen bases in the first half of a season. He is the 3rd player to do so in Major League Baseball history, joining Eric Davis in 87 and Bobby Bonds in 1973. James Wood, he reached 24 or more homers and 12 or more stolen bases in the first half of the season. Among players aged 22 or younger in Major League Baseball history, the only other players to ever do that in a single season are Fernando Tatis Jr. in 2021 and Alex Rodriguez in 1998. Tarek Skubal, obviously got to give him love for his first half. Many, many ways to do that. One way I had not done yet, 150 or more strikeouts and 20 or fewer walks at the All-Star break. MLB history, it's just him, Scherzer in 15, and Curt Schilling in 2002. And then lastly, because why wouldn't you end with these two? Aaron Judge's 1.194 OPS is the highest by a right-handed hitter at the All-Star break in at least 300 plate appearances. So Judge has got over 400, so it's not even a low or a high threshold. Since Mark McGwire in 2000, when he had a 1.230 OPS at the break. It's Shohei Ohtani. He is truly one of a kind. It's the third time in his career, if you can believe it, DB, that he has had at least 30 homers and 10 stolen bases in the first half. Third time, 30 and 10 at the half, right? 30 and 10 is a good season. Third time he's done it at the half. All other players in Major League Baseball history combined have achieved that 6 total times.
Jesus.
Ohtani 3, all other players
Baseball,
in Major League Baseball
6.
history 6. So
That
and he pitches, by the way. I don't know if you remembered that, but he pitches too now.
Does he?
Yep.
I'm so tired of hearing about this Ohtani guy. And how
Yeah,
good
we
he is in
overmarket
balls.
him here on the Baseball is Dead pod, but guilty as charged. And those are the Nugs.
That's just stupid. Jose Ramirez on deck for another, that would be his third 30-30 season.
Yeah, and we're trending towards like greatest player, at least in recent baseball history, to not win an MVP territory as well. I know.
I think if you were to have a list of players right now who have been robbed or not won an MVP, and how I got Jose Ramirez at the top of that list.
Yeah, I know Manny is a person that lots of people like to cite from his prime, and obviously I'm in agreement with that. But Joe Ram is going to come with some associations that Manny perhaps didn't make it through his career without getting. And that's a debate for another day. But we are talking about a guy who's finished third, second, sixth, fourth, 10th, fifth, and now whatever he ends up finishing this year, which I'm suspecting, given where the Guardians are and Aaron Judge's and Cal Raleigh's season, is going to be somewhere that's not first and probably not second either. But Joe Ram. A lot of attention paid to the home runs, and obviously those Nugs are already out there. First season in Major League Baseball history where 5 players had 30 or more homers at the All-Star break, with Judge, Raleigh, Ohtani, Schwarber, and Suarez, who got there since the last podcast. That's pretty cool. The previous record was 4, as we previously discussed, in 98 with the big 3 plus Greg Vaughn. Greg, not Mo. And yeah, so, it's going to be a really cool, I guess I'll just transition right into my final thought now that I'm still talking, but co-final thoughts. Shout out to Tito, Terry Francona, 2,000 career wins. I believe one of 13 managers now to reach that threshold, which is very cool. And obviously friend of the podcast. I called him before the pod to see if he wanted to come on, but he didn't pick up. So no hard feelings. It was last minute.
He's celebrating.
Yeah. He's probably also like, who is calling me? But putting that aside, did make the effort. But yeah, shout out to him. Very cool that he got back and was able to achieve that. I'm sure it means something to him. And my other final thought is, like, we just ran through all these cool performances that are happening this season. I'm going to try and soak up as much as of all these historic level performances as we go into the second half, but specifically the home run chase. We'll see how it goes. Long way to go, but the fact that we have 5 people with 30 plus, and maybe 2 guys, maybe 3, but really 2 guys with like a legitimate chance at really pushing some numbers and maybe pushing each other for the MVP and home run records and all that sort of stuff. The potential of that is extremely exciting, and I'm looking forward to tracking that sort of thing in the second half. It's not every year you get to track stuff like that. I know it feels like we do nowadays with the Judge home run pursuit and Ohtani 50-50 and all this sort of stuff, but this is a new one, and it includes 2, 3, 4, 5 people potentially, and I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the second half of the season overall.
My final thoughts I kind of touched on with Nick Kurtz. But don't sleep, and I said this a while ago. Don't sleep on Nick Kurtz. Slowly but surely climbing the ladder on that AL Rookie of the Year race as well. I know I had already given it to Jacob Wilson about 15 minutes into the season, which I stand by, but Nick Kurtz, he's going to make it very, very, very tough. And I told you he'd be carving into some of the votes that could be going Jacob Wilson's way. And it's not just a 2-horse race. There are some other folks making a little noise in this American League from that rookie status. But I got to believe the green and gold still leading the charge. And just to add another name, you sort of questioned where Jose Ramirez was going to fit in that MVP race. This is your weekly reminder to involve Tarek Skubal in your American League MVP conversations as well. And Jose Ramirez, Jayhay, I hate to think about it, but very well could slot himself in quite neatly just behind a Tarek Skubal in that MVP race. That would be just another example of Joe Ram getting absolutely fucking hosed. But it is what it is. Those are my final thoughts.
Follow up to your final thought. How's that going to play in the clubhouse? little Jay Willie, Nick Kurtz.
Trust me. I want it to be a thing. I want it to be a thing because that means we're playing better baseball and continuing to play better baseball. So
I'm not asking about how it's going to play for you, man. I'm asking how it's going to play.
I'm
sure you want it.
They want each other to do well. I know that.
All right. But probably a little less well than they themselves are doing, would be my guess.
mean,
we're all humans, man. We're all humans.
Sure. Yeah. And I want to take this time. I know he's not here to defend it, but the disparaging remarks out of Jared Carabas's mouth regarding Jacob Mizorowski and his deservingness of going to the All-Star game in replacement of a guy like Christopher Chancha. I couldn't believe that Jared felt the way he did about it, but again, you can go back and replay it. Those are his words, not mine. And that's all we got.
That is what it is, man. I guess we'll see each other later this week.
See you this week. Do you have a pick? Who's going to win the All-Star game, Jayhay? And who is your All-Star game MVP?
Buddy, so obviously this is all bullshit, of course. I don't like this, this who should start the All-Star game, who shouldn't, is my focus there? Should it be Max Fried? Although the blister thing is now coming into play, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered at all. I'm going to take the NL. Riding NL.
Wow. NL.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking. It's like one of two available selections, right? It's either AL or it's NL. So you're going to take I left the AL for you, man. You're an AL boy.
Yeah, I'll take the AL. I'm taking the American League.
It's a good pick because it would if you took the NL and it was just two of us taking the NL, that'd be kind of lame.
That would suck.
Especially when I went through the off of this. What?
So tired. All right, well, go AL. Go AL. We will see you. We will see you on the other side of this thing. Have a fantastic All-Star break. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family for the next 4 days before you tell them to piss off again so you can watch the second half of Major League Baseball. Wow.